You no longer need a math degree to play Marvel Multiverse RPG.
You know what's cooler than magic? Math!
Marvel has released an update to its still in playtest Marvel Multiverse RPG. While Marvel called it an update, it's more like a continuity reboot. It's as if the designers got their hands on the Infinity Gauntlet, snapped their fingers, and deleted about half of the rulebook.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
If you hadn't heard about Marvel Multiverse, which is supposed to come out in 2023, well, the entire game was a rather complicated system built around the D616 system. That system involved taking 3 D6s, one of which was called your Marvel dice, and then rolling them to make checks. If your Marvel dice was a 1, that was actually a good thing, and it was called like a fantastic roll. If you rolled a 6, 1 on the Marvel dice, and then another 6, that was called an ultimate fantastic roll, and it was basically like a double super crit. When you created a character, you chose a power rank, which should not be confused with a character level, and an archetype, and then you consulted with a very complicated table to determine the modifiers for the various stats. Then you consulted the Darkhold and probably put on a Cerebro helmet to figure out how all your powers and traits and all that stuff basically changed your modifiers and further complicated your rolls. It was basically impossible to actually create a coherent character in this game.
It's not possible.
The biggest changes in the new update include reducing the number of ranks, which, once again, were an indicator of power level and not a character level system. Those were reduced from 25 power ranks to 6 power ranks. They got rid of archetypes, which were sort of like your character class. They got rid of those altogether. They changed how damage was calculated. They changed how health was calculated. They changed how attack rolls were calculated. They changed how defense scores were calculated. They reduced the types of actions a player could take in a turn. And they made a ton of other changes that were meant to streamline the system. For those of you who read the initial playtest and noped out at the sign of the first complicated archetype table, well, they got rid of the tables too. The spreadsheets are gone. Even the beloved D616 system got a tweak. You still roll 3 D6s with 1 as the Marvel dice, but it's no longer an automatic failure if you roll 3 1s. And, honestly, that makes a lot of sense because in literally every other scenario, when you rolled a 1 on the Marvel dice, that was a good thing. That was an ultimate roll or a fantastic roll or something like that. Scrapping the very crunchy system for a more simplified system built around feats and powers actually makes a lot of sense. And at first glance, the game seems a lot more playable. It looks like you'll no longer have situations where Captain America has only a 1% chance of hitting Black Panther, despite the fact that we've seen that fight play out many times in the comics. But the power system clearly still needs some work, and we'll see how custom character creation works in the new system. You can check out the new update on marvel.com/RPG, and you can check out the new updates for free. You'll still need to pay money for the initial playtest rulebook. They haven't updated the full rulebook yet. They just keep adding these erratas and updates to it. Anyways, there will be feedback for the system, like any playtest, and you can let the designers know whether you think these changes are a good thing or a bad thing. Or you can let us know in the comments section below whether you're planning on playing Marvel Multiverse RPG now that they've made these changes. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the character sheet below. If you do, when we get our hands on the Infinity Gauntlet, we won't snap you out of existence.